Hello everyone and welcome back to a new PinBuilder update. This is for 0.4.2.1 and we are so excited to be bringing you some really cool new stuff and some fixes and updates. So, well, I guess this whole thing is an update, so everything in this is an update. All right. Anyways, I'm Anna, and let's just jump right into it. So you're going to notice something new on the main menu, and that is this button right here that says Leaderboard. You click that, and what it does is it shows you the world ranking for these 4 pinball machines, which unfortunately are not complete, but we are working on that. We know that a lot of people are chomping at the bit for some of the features that are in this update, so we decided we're going to go ahead and release the update today, which is February 1st, 2024. So this is going to feature these 4 games, which are, as of yet, not completely finished, but we wanted to give you an idea of how the leaderboard works, so we went ahead and included it in this update. Not that this was something that everyone was chomping at the bit for, but we think it's cool, and we do want you guys to play those tables so that we can see and make sure that the scores are populating and that everybody who's playing those tables shows up on the leaderboards. Currently, we have just our shop account is showing, so there's only one player name showing, which is Propulsion Studios, which is our studio. And we have the 4 main tables, 4 of the 5 main tables that come with the game: Alien Meadow, Kaiju Battle, etc. And if you want to just see one of these at a time, you can click on this drop down and select which one you want to see, or you can go back and show all. And when you do that, it'll refresh. Keep in mind, these are global scores, so anyone anywhere in the world who's playing the game, they will show up on this leaderboard. And it will literally be everyone who plays the game, the table, I should say. And once there are a lot of people listed on the leaderboard, obviously it's going to fill in. This is a scroll window, so you can scroll it. There's a purple scroll bar over here. Obviously there's not enough data there to scroll currently, but you can look at the top 10, top 25, 50, 100, 1,000, whatever. So if you click on 1,000, that's potentially going to show 4,000 rows of data. So you can filter that out by just selecting the table that you want to see and how many players you want to see. So if you pick that and there were at least 10 people who have played Alien Meadow, there will be 10 people listed here and their scores. So you guys can start competing to see who's got the highest score for a particular table. But I do want to remind you that because those tables are not really fully complete, we will be going in and completing each one of them in the next, coming weeks. And when we do that, we will be resetting the leaderboards. So apologies for anyone who gets a really high score and ranks number 1 or whatever. Just keep in mind and just know that your score may get wiped out when we reset the leaderboards later on after we update the tables. And we may do that one table at a time too. We may not have to do them all simultaneously. I'm not sure. We'll look into that. But anyways, so that's the way that's going to work for now. If you want to refresh, just hit that. And I do want to say that right now we only have those 4 tables on the leaderboards, and what we were thinking of doing was using this extra screen real estate right here to show another set of leaderboards for user-generated tables. So maybe the top, maybe the top 5 tables or top 10 tables or whatever that people have downloaded or upvoted on our Steam Workshop, maybe those tables will show. And that way we can generate, some cool leaderboards for your guys' tables too. So we're looking into that. We should totally be able to do that. It's just a matter of time. Anyways, so that is the first thing I wanted to show you. Now, the second thing I'd like to show you is we have some updates to the DMD setup. So you can see I have just a plain old table here. If you go into cabinet mode, click that or press 2 on the keyboard, you'll see that it says show DMD here. You can turn that off. So it's on now, right? And it was off. This is just the back glass. if you want it to show, you just click that and the DMD will show, and that is true in the play mode also, obviously, of course. So I'm just going to leave this like that, and I'm going to come back down here now and show you some of the other new features we have added. So we've done a little bit of work to our logic controllers. And I'm just going to go right here and spawn a logic controller. But first, I want to show you that we have added the color palette and color options that are the same as these that you use currently for any object that can be changed color-wise. And so you create a logic controller, which now is a really cool IC chip. It's a PinBuilder LC3251. And we can name that T1, I don't know why, but that's it. And now you'll notice that this is kind of pink. It defaults to this sort of washed out pink color. This one looks like flipper rubber, I guess. And there's a reason for that. You can actually go and change the color of that now. And there's a lot more coolness to this, though. So first of all, let me show you that if you turn the lights off, you can see the chip still and all the other stuff related to that, just FYI. It's kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. And now I'm going to go back here, and you'll see that I have a couple of other ones already set up. So this chip is set up, or this logic controller is set up to control these 3 inserts, and they're switched by this switch. So if we click on this, let me go to grab mode or select mode so that I'm not moving anything around. Now you're going to see that we have a cool new visualization here. So you can really easily see the direction of flow. The switch sends its signal to the logic controller. The logic controller sends signals out to these inserts. And we can change the color of that controller to literally whatever we want. It can be any of these colors, and you can change it to whatever you want. And of course, if you grab this and move it around, those move around with it, like always. And let's see. Anyway, so when this switch is triggered, it fires off a signal to that. It's sequential, so each one of these will light up in sequence. And when you hit it a 4th time or the last time plus this one, it will reset the whole thing if you have it set to reset on completion. So that one's all set up. Now we have another one set up over here, and we've done some updates for the way this displays on drop targets. So if we select this one, now you'll see that since we have to connect the logic controller, whoops, did not want to move it. Since we have the logic controller sending a signal to these drop targets, and we have the drop targets sending a signal to the controller, we have visualized these with sort of a crossover kind of effect. So that way, if you're up here above, you can kind of see that this signal's going this way and this signal's going that way, so you can see it's bidirectional, basically. So what that means is when you have a drop target bank, in order to set this up, so let me show you how to do that real fast. It's so freaking easy. Let's just clear that. And now the switches in these drop targets, the drop switches, are set to target this controller. So this is DTB1, so you just pick the controller that you want it to target here. If I turn that off, it turns it off. If I want it to trigger this one for some odd reason, it'll do that, and then it'll change that trace to that green color. So when I grab that one, you can see now it's associated with this logic controller. So you can see that association very clearly and very easily. Also, by the way, if you press the N key as in nuclear, you can see all of the traces all at the same time. So let's just turn that back off, and that will stay until you click one of these, and then the other ones will turn off. Or you can keep pressing the N button and turn them on and off. So let's go back to this guy and reset it to be this one. And let's then say, okay, you want this logic controller to check this bank of targets, or however many targets you've got out there. So what you do is you do the same thing you do with inserts. You hold down the left shift key and then you left click those and it adds them to the target controller. And now when one of these drops, it'll play this sound. And when all of them drop, it'll play that sound. And if you have reset on completion, it'll pop them all back up after about 1 second. And if you don't have that set to yes, you can set it to no, and they'll stay down until the next ball, if there's a next ball. So that is the new updates to the logic controllers. Okay, so now I want to show you the new under playfield or lower playfield option. It's so easy. I really enjoy this. It's fun. Before I do that, I want to point out that you'll see this new little drop down right up here. And this is a drop down to allow you to select which layer or level of the playfield you're working on. So let me just start real quick by placing a piece of upper playfield, or upper playfield. So this is an upper playfield here. Now, if I have the cursor aimed at that and I spawn an object like one of these, you'll see it spawned it on the main playfield. Well, that's because I have main selected here. But if I select upper and then I spawn one, you'll see it spawns it right there where I have that reticle. So that is going to spawn right up there. And so that's how that's working. Now, let's get rid of these. Oh yeah, and if you're on upper, you can't select anything that's below the upper level. You can still select this and move it if you want to. But yeah, so our main one is that level, and then now we have this lower one, which will hide the main playfield so that you can see the lower playfield. Now, you're probably thinking, well, where's that? Well, let's show you. Let's go to main. And we've got a new component here, right here. It's called lower playfield. And you just spawn it in there and you can grab it and you can move it around. You cannot rotate it. It doesn't rotate. But you can scale it, of course. So you can scale that to whatever size you want and then place it. We can snap that to the center line there if we want to. And turn the grid back off. Now you'll notice that there's this box around it. That's basically the grabber. So if you just grab anywhere inside the yellow box, you can move this thing around. And if you grab inside it, you can move it around too. There is glass covering the hole already, so you don't even need to worry about placing glass or anything. And there is the playfield underneath, which is the lower playfield, and it is actually the same size as the yellow square or cube that is surrounding it. So the playfield underneath there extends beyond the hole a couple of inches just to give you some extra real estate to work with. So we don't have an entire playfield down there. You only have one that's the size of this yellow square. So if we're above it, that looks about like that. Now, when you want to add things to it, you just go to lower, and actually, let me save this. Keep in mind that we'll save with that image, and it will look funny in your icon. See, it looks kind of weird. And let's see. All right, so I'm going to spawn a few objects down here. Let's do one of these guys, and we'll put it like so. And we'll spawn another one, and we'll put it over here. And I'll just put it there for now. Same with this one. And now I want to show you what we've done with the flippers. So if I click that, it's going to add one of these guys down there. Now, if you're on lower playfield, it's going to put them down there. But if you're on upper playfield, it's actually going to put them in this default position, and it looks like it's not placing them in the right spot. That's kind of Oh, that's why I'm on upper playfield. Hey, hey. Okay, so let's delete that. I didn't want upper, I wanted main. So now, boop, boop. Now they're placed in the right spot. Anyways, I don't want those there right now, but I just wanted to show you that. Let's go lower and let's just save this. And you'll see that these flippers work like normal flippers currently. And when we go into game, you'll see they're acting like regular flippers down there. So if we want to change that, it's very simple. We'll just go back to lower. And I'm going to change these to minis. And I'm going to put them here. Like this. Now you'll see they are going to flip the wrong direction. So what you want to do is check is reversed. Now it does automatically select is reversed when you spawn them on the lower playfield. However, it won't act reversed until you do a little bit of interesting flipping around of stuff. So essentially what you want to do is you want to switch the resting position and the max angle position. Okay, so there's the two angles. There's the flipper rest angle, which is where the flipper is just normally. So you want to set that to -53, say. And then for the max angle, see you can see how it's only going so far, but you can go here and set that to 0, and that will kick it up to that 0 point. So let's do the same for this. We're just going to put 0 there, and we're going to put 53 here. So now when we go into play mode, let's save that. And let's press the credit button. Uh-oh, we've got a problem. Why is that acting like a biatch? Oh, I see why it's acting like a biatch. All right, so I see why it's not acting the way I think it should, and that's because I unchecked is reversed. So now that's good, though, that you saw that, because you can see why you need to set it to is reversed. So let's see, and let's make sure it's working. Yeah. So now when you press the flippers, you can see that they are working correctly. Now there's a lot of angular math in these flippers. That is why they're a little bit more complicated and a little bit finicky, because they do have real world physics to them. They lerp between positions, which means that they smoothly move from one to the other, and that is so that you can use them to catch balls and pass balls back and forth and stuff like that. So you can do some cool English or whatever. It is not an easy task to make them work backwards without just redesigning them completely. And that's not something that we want to do. All right, so I'm going to move this back slightly, and I am going to go back to lower, and basically I'm just going to grab this dude and move him down here. And I'm just going to put a couple of the, well, I'll just put one of these right here. It doesn't have to be terribly complicated. So I'm just going to do this. I'm also going to put a few lights. Let's do one of these and we get red. And we'll play that, and we'll just duplicate that around. Alt-D, move that there, and this here, and that there, and I've got some lighting underneath. All right, so I'm going to save this. And let's go ahead and move these here like this. And we'll just line these up. One of these days we might add an update that allows you to pull these corners in and angle them so that you can kind of tweak that. But for now, it's just going to be rectangular. Okay, so let's save that again. And what do we want to do? Okay, so you can set this up in many different ways to get the ball back up to the play field. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and do it the easy way. I'm just going to select a, oops, I didn't want that to teleport there or spawn there. I'm just going to select this teleporter, and I'm going to put it right there. And this teleporter has a new feature or option, hidden with no effects. So you select that, and now this will teleport the ball to a ball spawner. But we've updated the ball spawner also so that it is actually, let's see, let's just use this one. And that is teleport location. So if you set that to teleport location, that's where the ball will teleport to. Now you're looking at this thinking, wait a minute, how do you get the ball down there? Well, let me show you that. So we've added another new thing, and that is a playfield hole. So that's this one. So let's say we want to have just a very simple way of getting the ball down in here. We are going to put a hole right here. We can scale this down. And this one, now let me show you something. We're working on fixing this, but right now if you overlap holes, you're going to see the inside of the overlapping hole like this. Not what we want. We don't want that. We want it to just carve out that chunk without this, so we need to figure out why that is showing. But for now, we're doing this like this. So before I go further, let's move this over. And by the way, we can make it round. So we got a round hole, and it is round, or it can be round. If you go scale mode and hold shift, that will make it symmetrically round. Let's go to the lower playfield, and let's go add a habit trail piece, like one of these guys. Is it that one? No, it's the up one. Curve small up. All right. So we're going to have to get fancy with this. We'll turn it to the right, and we'll look at it from above. And we're going to move it over here. We'll just do it like this. We're going to move this guy. We'll move that there. Actually, let's duplicate that there, just to have some more cool light. And I'm holding shift to snap it, by the way. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to move this hole right over that. So you can grab it in here, and you can move it here just by looking at it this way. And then we can go back to main, and you can see that that's centered over that. And now you're thinking, what the hell, that's not going to work. And I agree, it's not. So we're going to select just selection mode, and then we're going to select that, and we're going to put it at about 80, I think. Yeah, 78 maybe. There. And that should work. Let's move this guy up here some, and that one. That light doesn't make any sense right there, really, but I just kind of wanted to get some light on the metal because it looks cool. All right, so now we're going to main, and you can see we have this oblong hole. There we go. That's what I want. Nice. All right. So now, when we get a ball over here, it will go down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this guy and put it over here. And for giggles, I'm going to have to do some other stuff just to make this work best. So we'll do this, and we'll put this guy right there. Keep it from dropping back down in there. And I'll grab, whoops, one of these, and we'll do a 6-inch one, and we'll move that up here. It's not perfect, doesn't need to be, it's just a demo. Oh boy, my cats are going crazy. Damn. All right, we're going to move that there. And we'll just put this way. I'm going to, well, let's see. Make the bounce factor high on that. Put another one here. High bounce factor. All right. That way we got something to mess around with. Okay, so basically now, just don't worry about all this. The reason I did that was just so that we can keep the ball bouncing around and knock it in that hole to see how this is going to work. And of course, all it needs to do is go in there one time, and then it's going to just keep recycling. As you can see, the teleporter is going to teleport to there, and it's just going to go in the hole, bounce around, teleport back, and it's just going to loop. So I want it to loop just for demonstration purposes, but you would not want that in an actual game. All right, let's check it out. It might take me a minute to get it in there. I might need to put some metal or something around it to... Yeah, you know what? Whoa. There it goes. Yay, all right. Oh. So as you can see, when it rolled down through the hole, it kind of teleported too quickly because you could see it disappear and then reappear up there. So that's not necessarily the way you'd want to do that. There are a bunch of ways you can do it though. So let's take a look at another one real quick. That is not round. What is going on? All right. All right, so instead of teleporting, let's get rid of that. And we're going to put, well, let's do this way. We can spin around and do it this way just as well. So we're going to get a couple of these guys. If I can grab that. And we'll just set this up like so. Same with this one. Set it up like so. Actually, let's move these down. And we'll save it because I like that so far. We'll add a habit trail piece, and this will be, let's see, we could just do a popper upper like this, and we can, this is maybe kind of a janky way to do this, but where did that go? Huh, that's interesting. Oh, weird. Okay, that's right. Don't put kicker holes on this bottom yet. They act a little bit strange. We'll fix that soon. Just keep that in mind. Now I see what's happening, why I didn't see them. It is on the right level, so you could put it here if you wanted to. The problem is that it's just going to sit there and float. So what we need to do is create the hole cutter option for that. So just something to keep in mind. It's not set up currently to do that down there. We've had so much stuff in this update to do that just wasn't something that we got around to. So let's set this to kicker popper upper. That is vertical. So we'll give that about 8. That should be good. And then let's rotate this. Let's just rotate it that way. All right, so now when the ball goes down there, it should pop it back up. And you know what? Let's give it a little bit of a curve so that it doesn't completely shoot right down the drain. And we'll try this. All right, so now the ball should fall into the kicker hole and then pop back out onto the playfield. So let's just do a standard with nothing. And we'll move that right there. All right, this way we can... It's not going to teleport here again, so that's fine. Credit button. Yeah, we'll have to fix that. All right, so let's just... Whoop, sorry. This is set to move pretty quickly. All right, so now I'm just going to spawn a ball over that drop hole. Goes down in there. And we can hit it. Uh-oh, bad. That's not good. So it's just going to disappear. We'll just spawn another one. And hopefully it'll just roll down the center so we can see how this works. See, that's... There. There we go. That's pretty funny. This is fun. I mean, you know, you never know until you start trying to demonstrate something to people how things work, and then you start seeing all of, you know, funky things that need to be fixed or whatever. So let's just see what this looks like. Actually, let's go down here. This is whoops. Sorry guys, my camera is just moving so fast. All right, here comes a ball. Boop. Maybe it'll go straight, maybe not. Hey. There we go. All right, so anyways, you can see how that works. So that's cool. So there you go. That is the lower playfield in effect. Oh yeah, object movement now utilizes the object's existing Z coordinate. So Z is up and down in Unreal Engine, which is what we use for this. And so wherever an object is when you select it, that's where it will move. So if I put this up at, let's say, 44 up here, and I grab it and move it, it's going to stay at 44. And I can move it like that. Now, eventually we might put a grabber in here, but that just seems to be causing us more headaches than we want. So accurate placement is kind of better. Just use these guys. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you guys is that we have fixed the customizable rail issue that was happening. So that's this one. And if we grab that and adjust it, let's say you want it to be however you want it to be. These are fun. These can be pretty much any way you want them to be. So if I make it like that, there was a problem with this in that it wasn't behaving like it should, like you would expect in play mode. So now you'll see that when we go to play mode, it is exactly as it should appear. And so that's resolved. That's a bug fix right there. Another thing that we fixed, which I may have already shown you, was that in logic mode, when you press the N key, it wasn't hiding the connectors. It was only showing them, and then you couldn't hide them all by pressing it again. Let's see, we fixed the default spawn name for the ball spawners. So now it's ball spawner. You can change these, of course, if you want to call it, you know, teleport location 1. You can do that if you want to. Of course, that pops up here. We also fixed the deflection plate metal. So if you select this deflector, now it's actually metal as it should be. Before it was just white or a light gray. So now it's actually steel, a steel texture. All right, well, that's pretty much that. That's all the new stuff in the update here. A lot of cool stuff to play with, a lot of things to tinker with. I want to see you guys building some really cool games and putting them up on the Steam Workshop. I want to play some more of your games, you guys. Make sure that you go check out the Steam Workshop and download and try some of those games. I think that's it. So I appreciate you guys. We all here at the studio appreciate your support and your input. Thank you so much. You've helped us come a hell of a long way in the last 7 months, and 2023 was a great year for PinBuilder, but we are really hoping that 2024 is going to be the breakout year for this game. So if you like PinBuilder, please share the idea and the game with your friends. Show them the game. We're working on trying to do some kind of incentives for people who want to buy the game and all that fun stuff. That doesn't make sense, but we're just trying to come up with some ways to get the word out. And so, really word of mouth is probably one of the best ways. So your input helps tremendously. So please share the game with your friends, show it to them, get their input, see if they're interested. Maybe we'll do some kind of a contest. I don't know. Hey, maybe we'll do a free key giveaway to the person with the highest score on one of the tables at the end of the month or something. I don't know. That might be fun, right? I mean, if you want to give a key to a friend. So speaking of friends and PinBuilder, I wanted to just sort of tell you another thought that we're having here in the studio about the game and integrating it with multiplayer. We'd really like you to be able to play the game with up to 3 other players. So you could play multiplayer, basically, by connecting with your friends via Steam, I guess. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out, and if that's even feasible, which I'm sure it is, so that you could play 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, all different. You could be in the United States playing someone in Japan, playing someone in Germany or England or wherever, anywhere, Australia, anywhere on the globe that has the game, plays the game, and wants to play someone else. So that's one of our goals, is so that you can do that. Have 4-player games against other friends. You could even do that in a tournament. You could have 4-player tournaments with the game virtually on virtual cabinets or real cabinets playing virtual PinBuilder. We do appreciate very much your requests for new features. We're going to do some further just optimizing and tweaking to make sure the game is functioning top-notch. It's a balancing act, kind of just balancing bug eradication, new features, stuff like that. And, I say we, but it's just me and my cats. So, it's taking me a little bit of time, but I do literally spend 16 hours a day working on this some days because I love it. It's so much fun. I actually play PinBuilder development like I would of another video game. So, instead of playing other people's video games, I developed this game and I'm trying to promote it like I would a video game, which kind of sounds confusing, I guess, but I develop it like I'm playing a video game. Let's just put it that way. So anyways, I do love working on this, and I love you guys, and your support means everything to me. I do say we, and I reference we in everything that I post because I think a lot of people might be kind of scratching their heads thinking that one person can do all this work by herself with her cats in such a short period of time, but maybe one of these days I'll do just like a get to know me video. If you're interested in that, make a comment below and tell me if you want to get to know me better. I have been a coder since, this'll age me, but since 1978, actually. I saw a Space Invaders cabinet brand new in a bowling alley my friend and I used to go to all the time. I was so mesmerized by it. I said, to my friend, that is what I want to do with my life right there. I want to make that. However you do that, I want to make stuff like that. I want to make those, whatever that is. If it's a video game, okay, that's what I want to do. I've actually been a database developer and web app and Windows app developer and server admin and network engineer and stuff like that. My last career job was senior software engineer at a pretty big company, so that was fun. But you got to break away and do what you want with your life. So I'm taking a huge risk by relying on PinBuilder for my sole income, and I'm lucky if it pays one bill a month. But hey, it's a passion of love, and I have things I can sell. So too much information for you guys. I'm sure you're bored with me yapping on and probably want me to shut up so that you can turn this video off if you haven't already. And if you've listened this far to the end of this, well, thank you, and peace to you. Love to you guys. Seriously, I have so much love for you and this game, and I'm just really happy to be here. That's all I can say at the end. So until the next update or one of the how-to videos, which will be coming out soon, I wish you guys the most wonderful February, and I will see you later.